All right. It looks like the sound is going well. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and add in our book here. Awesome. So welcome everyone. Oops, let me go unmute my mic. I think it should be on. All right, everyone. Welcome to our first book club of 2025. We are doing Hellenic Polytheism Household Worship. Pretty sure cover for that actually here. All right, so we have already pre-planned everything as far as the reading schedule. So that's all in the book club section under the Hellenic Polytheism Household Worship. I just realized I threw my actual book, which has my actual notes. Yeah, so you can go ahead and you'll be able to know exactly what we're reading for the entire time. Now, I have my physical copy here. I'm going to attempt to match the one online and stay on track here. But we'll see. So this time, we are starting off with the introduction, and we went until page 34. All right, so let's we have to jump to page like 14. Yeah. Oh, no, one more. Two more. Actually, this is great. Let me also. I can do this. I want to make sure it doesn't cut off anything on the stream. That works. That's fine. Just scooch more. Okay, so let's just run through the table of contents real quick. I'll do it kind of slowly. I'll scroll down. Okay, or not. I'm going to attempt to scroll down slowly. Nope, apparently I can't. That's too much. There we go. See, I figured it out. So we are going from the introduction all the way through loss in the household, which is death. So we're going to be stopping right before on the household altar. And then here's just a nice going through the table contents. So we learn about each of the deities. Now we're not reading on stream, right? We're discussing. So make sure y'all in the future, if you haven't read it, make sure you do. But you can always just hang around anyway. All right, so we're going. So here's the introduction again. So we're not reading all like everything. Let me get to my introduction here. So if there's anything from the introduction that you guys looked at and or saw and you were like, oh, that stands out, please feel free to comment in the chat or in the chat for the public stage in the Discord server. Yeah, you're also welcome to raise your hand at any time. All right, here we go. This is kind of difficult because I'm having to look at 2 books. So the first thing that I actually want to point out, here it is. I wonder if I can notate it in the PDF. I don't know why I'm so yawny today. I'm so sorry. So one of the things that I highlighted here is that naturally, because we're referring to a living tradition, Hellenism and many other paths are probably considered living religions, which means that things change through time. That's it. new things are discovered. New things are done with individual's practice. Okay. This was also something I highlighted because, well, let's just read it first. Due to the differences between previous historical eras of Hellenism and the contemporary lifestyles and environment, we employ a practical approach to serving the gods in an appropriately contemporary manner without distorting or compromising the traditional perspectives and practices by foreign systems, ideas, and customs. So, we're trying our best to do it right, as it is by a tradition, but things aren't the same. right? We have computers and things, right? So as life and as time changes, um, our practices will also change. And I mean, ultimately, I mean, we always say like pretty much it's the answer to so many questions. It's the intent and that matters. Oh, it's supposed to be this way. It's the intention, right? So, but we do have like we have a standard ritual style here at HH. Like there's just a standard format. So that but I mean the way we do it is adjusting for the fact that there's a community with lots of people who want to contribute and volunteer and show their love of the gods, but not everyone knows the same information. Not everyone has the same experience. And so, or any experience that can be very intimidating to people new to the community or new to the path. And so many times in the beginning when we were like, oh, like, yeah, okay, you're hosting the ritual, go, they'd be like, I mean, I love the gods and I know the old stuff, but like, what do I do? And so we adjusted accordingly so that everyone could have the opportunity, right? So is that what was done? No, probably not. They were probably the same people, right, that would do it, do the rituals. But things changed, All right. Yes, in the our era section. I'm trying to keep a track, so like please, I'm trying to keep a track of all the chats. So please feel free to like harass me if I'm ignoring the chat. In fact, I'm actually gonna move it over. There we go. Nope, not what I wanted to do. I want to move this one. Continuing off that idea, this whole section. The only constraints in this world of rapid superficial change are the fundamental principles around which human existence revolves. These core principles are the universe, nature, and humanity itself. Yeah. What is it? The two things that you can never escape, and like death and taxes. Death and taxes. It's the constants, right? The laws of the universe, nature. All right. So, all right, next section, we're actually going to get into the Hellenic worship and the Hellenic religious traditions a little bit. And we have one of the things I love about this book and why my book is so tabbed up is there's so much useful information in here. Like, I love it. So much. And so we're getting into like actually like lists over here. I love my lists. All right. So the two basic forms of Hellenic religious tradition are, and where still are, household worship, and then this household worship, and then the like civic state communal worship. Because community was such a big aspect back when of the traditions. Like a lot of the like big festivals were like whole like city-wide like festivals. So, I mean, even if a city is small, like that's still a big thing. Have you ever tried to organize a big family get-together? That's fucking hard, man. Hydrate. Oh, I realized I don't have my lo-fi music on. Let me put that on here. If it'll load. So further insight into the theological perception of the religion may be found in these additional forms. So the socio-political expression, the mytho-poetic expression, and the philosophical expression. Okay, my Spotify was being done. Okay, apparently it's not responding. That's okay because we have. No, because it's through OBS. I think my Spotify decided to give up. All right, so household rites and worship remain characteristics of and inseparable from this religion. They may be understood as the essence of larger whole and an integral factor by gaining awareness of the divine without engaging in personal theological issues or debates or of differing opinions, such as philosophy. So, it's all like self-focused. It's all in the household. You don't have to go and have big discussions. So household rites are not only the original form from which all other forms of the religion have sprung, but identify the followers of the ancient religion. I'm sorry, I got off track. But even today, identify the followers of the ancestral religion. There we go. It is these specific rituals and devotional acts that facilitate and maintain a relationship between the gods and humans. So basically, there's certain constants, right? Like I worship Hestia. Okay. I need a book holder is what I need. And there are specific rituals and things to like specific offerings for specific deities. Or a good devotional act that I'm sure was done even back in the old days is like picking up trash, like cleaning the ocean, all that, like the beach, right? I'm sure many people tended to the well-being of the earth as a devotional act. All right. Sacred rites. Those are fun. So aside from the known ceremonies of household worship, when the need arises or deemed necessary, a ritual may be established. A new ritual may be established. These new ceremonies express the needs and standards of the polytheists living in contemporary society and allow us to experience the exaltation arising from each approach to the divine. So, yeah, things change. We make new systems, processes, or in this case, rituals, right? In this way, we may continue to enrich existing rituals with new hymns of worship, prayer, blessings, and ceremonial acts, which may have their roots in ancestral tradition. Sincerity, consistency, and meaningful experience of the gods through acts of worship are actual principles upon which these ceremonies are established. So this is, of course, these ceremonies are established to praise the divine, right? And I continued to highlight quite a bit. Okay, let's see. And so with that, Hellenic polytheistic tradition contributes to its relentless march through history and into our current reality, thus proving that its contemporary followers are part of an evolving living organism which generates and feeds the ancestral chain. Basically, we're all connected through the generations and through our faith, right? So it's the circle of everything. All right. The next section is the introduction to household worship. I wish there was a description as to why this picture. So the household, that's a word. That is a word. I don't know how to say this word, but it is in fact a real word. So it's a common misconception that the primary form of Hellenic religion was the main festivals of the city and the mystery cults, with household worship being either non-existent or limited. But in fact, it was the other way around. I mean, all you have to do is go look at the calendar, and you'll see how many holidays there are. Not every holiday was celebrated by everyone. There are many holidays that were like only like city specific, right? And there were many people who their patron may not be the same main patron for like the city. Think like Athens, Athena. If you were a farmer, you wouldn't pray to Athena, right? You'd be praying to Demeter primarily, right? So there you go. My page flipped. Okay. Such a mistake is justified if we consider how rare it is for texts and archaeological findings, such as pottery, utensils, and structures, to provide us with evidence for household worship in comparison to the wealth of materials available for communal worship. Also, you have to understand if something was in a communal, like large, important building, they would have made more of an effort to like keep it safe, right? As opposed to the, like, I don't think most people have like a fireproof safe in their house. I mean, I do. But like most people I know don't. They just keep their stuff in a folder or in like a bag or like maybe something specific for it. But like most people I know don't have that, right? So like think about it like that. Of course, every office building has all of their important files locked away in like a safe place, right? Probably like very secure, right? But we don't have that same resource to do that at the house. So not always going to make it. And then there's all like time. Let's assume things don't get destroyed on purpose because people were douchewads. How would I have such security? Yeah. I mean, I got my fireproof safe off of Amazon. It was like $40. That's pretty good, and it's enough size for like most important documents and then some. I highly suggest it because the pain in the ass you're gonna have to deal with if those stuff don't survive. Ugh. Like, yeah. But again, that just further puts on further promotes the notion of that. Yeah, most people in there, and so you're a student, so maybe you would pray to Athena, right? As opposed to like the example I was giving. So yeah, I think that further highlights it. All right. This book is so freaking bent and destroyed. I'm just like, I don't care. I'm gonna just crack the spine. Wait, did I pass one? Yeah, I did. Oh no, wait, I already went through this next page. Right, so in reality, however, it's quite different from a religious point of view. The state and other communal forms of worship are an extension of household worship on a societal, civic, and collective level within a city or larger community. Right, so it's actually going. The higher the level, the less in. I'm gonna say it this way: the less important. But I don't know. I feel like that needs a different word. Let me see here. So household worship is crucial. Not only does it facilitate and develop stronger religious consciousness, but it is also there we go, means by which the religion can reemerge dynamically in a broader society. All right, so we're actually going to start getting to the gods. Did anyone have any thoughts on like the household? Pretty much it. I just want to make sure I'll give everyone the opportunity on Twitch and YouTube and within the server because it's like a lot of platforms. All right. Oh, yes. Okay, so someone on Discord saying I found it really funny reading about how it kept saying it's unique to you, but you bump into so many people saying you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Yes. It's rather prevalent in the community of like people going, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." I think I'm a reconstructionist. I'm not. I really need to remember these titles better. I need flashcards. We should make flashcards. That was a good idea. But yeah, so many people. In fact, I think I'm reconstructionist. So I actually came from a revivalist prior to. We do need a glossary. I agree. We should make one. We should make one. Put that on the project list. So many projects. We do, like, we have an abundance of projects that people have thought of, but we simply don't have the means to do. So this is a great time to go ahead and plug. Please make sure to check out the volunteer positions channel in the server because we're really I'm really trying to like get all of that stuff organized this year so that we can actually like have a systematic thing where we can crank out these awesome projects. But hashtag ad for volunteers. Exactly. Look, I made the ad. You guys can't see it actually when I put it on. Hold on. I wonder if I can show my screen so you can see it. Probably not. But this is a good time to put on the ad for. You guys can't see it in the Discord server. It's being streamed on Twitch and YouTube, though. I want to say thank you for your support. For those who have supported via boosting the server, via subscribing on Twitch, via supporting us on Patreon. So a huge thank you to our Patreon Temple patrons, Dugga Thugga, Affectionate Kitten, Avery, Boopage, Zephyr Ever, Sam, and Mycius Porcius. Thank you so much. And so many of these patrons are multi-month patrons, so we really appreciate it. I'm doing hand hearts. Nobody can see me. Doesn't matter. And a big thank you to our Discord Pegasus boosters. Alistair, Blade, Bees, Mercury, Pete, Vinegar, Zothic. Without our Pegasus boosters, we wouldn't be able to stream in HD. We wouldn't have all of the cute little emojis we have. And wouldn't be able to do those little details that everyone loves, like the like changing the member icon every month to be associated with the deity, which I realized we haven't done this month yet. But we need to do that. Watch Victoria do it live on stream. It'll take like 3 seconds. I was like, wait a minute. What? Let's pick the rainbow heart. Save. All right. There we go. All right, so back to the book. So, principles of the gods. Primarily, the gods that govern our religious life of the household are Hestia, Zeus, Hermes, Hecate, and Apollon. I just wanted to go over that. The central purpose of the central purpose as the household gods is to ensure the unity and well-being of the household. I don't think I can highlight things unless I download it. Yeah, that makes sense. So Hestia, first and last, Hestia is the goddess who gave humanity the gift of the home, and as such is the central divinity of the household. Her worship is of paramount importance, and its roots stretch back into the mists of antiquity. There it is. Singular word, just sitting there all lonesome like. So I highlighted the quote here. For without thee, mortals do not have dinners, where first and last is for Hestia, and begin with libations of sweet wine. So this goddess is identified with the hearth, where the family gathers for dining and warmth, to such the extent that the hearth and the goddess are perceived as one and the same. So yeah, there is the thing of Hestia being both the goddess of the hearth and like the actual hearth itself. Like I mean, not all houses have hearths now, but like a lot of houses then did. Because we have central heating. Yeah. And central AC. All right. What the hearth is on is on the physical material level is the goddess in a theological sense, with the two constituting the sacred center of the household. Oh, cool! That's wonderful. So, okay, it says, comment says, I'm really lucky that my fireplace works both inside and outside the house, so I can worship Hestia at the fireplace on either side of the house. That's awesome. I remember having a fireplace when I lived in Rhode Island, and like I do love fireplaces. Like a good fire. Oh. As well as a semi-arid person, I have no such things like those. Mexico is very rare. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of houses in California don't have fireplaces because, you know, we live in California. Step outside, you feel like fire for most of the year. Just pretend you're in a fireplace. All right, let's see here. We also have a vocabulary word, which I don't know how to say that. Ikesia, supplication. Oh, you're in Belgium. Oh, that's why you messaged me at 2 in the freaking morning. I was like, why am I being pinged at 2:40 a.m.? Oh, great. You're part of Mexico, so this makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, so at the same time, cities had a communal hearth as their sacred center, right? Having the same function as the household hearth, but on like a whole like citywide communal level. Um, yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to see. Usually at the bottom, it has the definition thing, and information on where they got the translations for the word. All right, let's see. There's a good phrase on the next page, right here. I don't know how to say that, but it means take your lead from the hearth, thus implying a very beneficial beginning. To do. The hearth represents an individual household in the community. Destruction of the household, its destruction is the destruction of the household itself. Okay, Zeus. Thesios. I don't know how to say that, guys. Don't even try. I'm terrible at names and words. I just like, y'all should have seen me when I tried to read Greek religion by, I think, like Walter Burkhardt, like early in the days of HH. And oh man, it was bad. It was so bad. Every other freaking line, I was like, I don't know how to say this. Like, why would I pick up the most scholarly text I own? So, okay. The second god we encounter after Hestia is Zeus, bearing the epithet. Not even gonna try. What it means is possessor. Here we go. So when we're talking about Zeus, the possessor, right here, he of the possessions of the estate and of the goods in the house. It's the person who's the head of the household, right? They're like the buck stops with them. Epithets. Look, I've been a Hellenic Polytheist for, like, I think it's definitely over 5 years. And I don't know it like most of the epithets, I would say. And to be honest, you can also make up your own epithets too. That's pretty dope though. And that's exactly why we actually include the epithets in the HH calendar. If you don't know where the HH calendar is, there's in the announcements, there's pins, actually I don't think it's pinned. But in the announcements, recent announcements, you guys will find links to the HH calendar. Let me actually just go up on here. I'll get the link from the website itself as well. Because we have a website, which I think most people don't know that. I guess it's under shop, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Wait, that's not right. Calendar. Okay, that page is not forwarding to the right page. All right, here you go. Now the HH calendar is 100% free to download. Started making casts. I can't even know that past 6 months. So for Zeus, aww, that's wonderful. I have no idea what that is. Cathyscos. I'm not. Nope, not good for me. So I'm gonna put this also on the stream here right now. The 2025 HH calendar. Is always free to download. We do have a pay what you can scale, especially if you would like to donate. You can do that. We also have the ability to purchase the calendar as a physical calendar, and you can purchase it just on our website. Here's January's month. And right here, you guys can see the theography. I hope you can see it. Can I just see this picture? There we go. That's what I wanted to see. All right. Can I make it bigger still? So in the theography, we have like the goddess or god of, blah, 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 all the information like symbols, animals, plants. We have the epithets as well and sample devotional acts and, of course, a prayer. The calendar was put together by Larissa Mystic, one of our mods, as well as Sunspear Babe. His name is also Jill, who is our head librarian for the resource committee. Jill also helps Jill also manages the resource library, which is where you'll find the copy of Hellenic Polytheism Household Worship that you can download, along with so many other amazing books. Literally, we have over 500 titles. I will never be able to read them all. I mean, like, we could have like 20 book clubs going all at the same time, and I think it would take us years to still go through them all. So like a huge round of applause for our resource committee, because they had done an awesome job, and you know, they did an amazing job with the calendar as well. I think we have the translation for Spanish. We need to double check that. But we do have the opportunity for anyone who wants to volunteer to help translate the calendar. We'd love to be able to provide it in other languages and make it as accessible as possible. All right, back to the book club. Let me get my actual physical book. Oh, the page flip. That's why I'm like, where am I? Okay, so bearing the epithet possessor. He is worshipped as the protector of the family property and presides over the prosperity of the household. So during the classical era, his altar was found commonly in some like a storage place of the house, usually outdoors, and were mainly libations were poured in his honor. But yeah, goods such as food and perhaps items of clothing, material, wool, and animal skins were kept in the storage room until recently. In some villages, up to previous generations. Oh, yes, please. Thank you, Sacred. All right. So basically all the things that were worth anything were kept, you know, being of the deity of the prosperity of the household, were kept in the storage area with Zeus, right? So where are we? What constitutes wealth that cannot be equated with the current vulgar perceptions of currency money, which is nothing other than a more means of exchange. All right. Still have no idea what this is. Like, there's literally a question mark in my book. So it is by Good Fortune, Psyche. And we have a quote here in Ancient Greek, which we can't read, so they put a lovely translation. It is necessary to make the symbol of Zeus possessor. We take an unused firkin and two handles? Two handles through which we thread white wool and yellow thread, the color of saffron, which we then throw to the right of the shoulder handle and place inside whatever we have, as well as ambrosia. Ambrosia is pure water from a fountain and oil and all fruits. This is what you place inside. So here's an example of someone obviously describing some of the things that you would see, because they put them there. I guess in the pantry, right? Which all of these are like related to Zeus. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. So the first kit is a small bucket and a common household item found in every Greek home. Due to its utilitarian nature, there have been no archaeological discoveries for a particular cult. Firkins, as no distinction can be made between the utilitarian and the cult object. Let's see. Oh, okay. Great. Yeah. See, I'm bad at vocabulary. So, like, exactly. I had to, like, see that before I was like, oh, okay. I should, like, make a connection between where the definition is. We're going to write in the book some more. This is a textbook. It's okay if we write inside of it. All right, let's see here. So then we have Zeus. Again, not even saying that, but I have the thing here, which is fence. Like, I don't know why. It refers to a fence, and therefore, by extension, the area that surrounds the house. So this would be like literally the fence around your house, the edge of your property, right? You want to make sure that anything on your property is safe, and it's within that area. Okay. In Athens, the house itself was often referred to as the fence, and thus the two words house fence became interchangeable and acquired the same meaning. In ancient texts, the question of where is your house can also be said as where is your Zeus fence situated. So on Hermes, Hecate, and Apollon Aegeus. I don't know how to say this. So Hermes and Hecate take the same form they appear in as gods of the pathways. Hermes in the form of the herm that demarcates places and boundaries, and Hecate as the guardian and ruler of the crossroads. If you've ever seen a herm, it's hilarious. I love it. They just put up statues of Hermes places, and they were very funny and very adult. Oh, we also from the, is this the page or the 27? No, I had this highlighted. We know that members of the family who had spent a considerable amount of time away from the home would sacrifice to Zeus upon their return, right? Just to, I guess, kind of make up not being home. A few archaeological findings and literary sources suggest that an altar or shrine to one of the three of these gods existed in every home, which, as a part of the devotion offered to them, had to be properly maintained or represented images, and their representational images kept clean, right? These representations consisted of a herm, statues with a square stone stab for Apollo, all of which required regular cleaning due to exposure of rodent outdoors. Of course, it was commonplace to provide special recess on the fence next to the entrance of the dwelling, where devotional statues and ritual items such as incense burners and offering bowls could be placed. Today, in the case of apartment buildings, we place our items of worship on a shelf or a ledge. All right, family. If anyone has any thoughts on the boundaries or Zeus's role in the household, please let me know. I'd love to talk about things. I think we can get a little further for today, and we're actually, let's see how far. So the term, that word, as mentioned previously, has a broad definition that is inclusive of ancestors and the honors offered to them. Therefore, when referring to household worship, we acknowledge two central categories. Firstly, the worship of the household and the family gods. Second, the worship of the ancestors. Right? With most rituals, it is the women who take care of the practice of devotions in the home. So, main household rites. There are 3 stages of existence. A variety of different types of ceremonies take place in the household, but a special mention of those must be made of 3 central household rites that are considered the 3 stages of existence, life, and a household. The 3 stages are the founding of marriage, the continuation of birth, and the loss in death. So the establishment of a household actually begins with the marriage, as the union of 2 people or more, in a family unit. A single and childless person living on their own does not actually constitute as a complete household for these purposes. I mean, that being said, again, it's a living religion. Now, the birth of a child is considered to be an expansion of the household, although the newborn only becomes a truer member of the household through the proper ceremony of introduction and to the preferred gods of the household. Kind of like baptizing, I guess. It's a ceremony and all that stuff. Loss in the household. Death is a transition that affects the household and the household rights in two ways. Firstly, there's the temporary miasma brought. Miasma is kind of like spiritual junk. Like, it's like the ick from, like, every day. You know, you come home and you're exhausted and you're like, oh, I just need to, like, wash the day off me. That feeling. So death is a transition that affects the household and household rights in two ways. Firstly, is the temporary miasma brought by the deceased, and secondly, because the deceased will be incorporated into the ancestral pool after a specified period of time and the performance of the traditional rite. Thereafter, the deceased will forevermore become part of the household as one of the many and receive honors together with the rest of the ancestors. You know, we just put out a plate for them. Just all the ancestors. We got the table out, right? You can never leave. That's hilarious. Okay, let's see here. Oh my gosh, you guys! I literally when I wrote this book, when I read this book originally, my grandmother had like just died, and I read it on the plane to go to her memorial, because we had to have one in another state because like all of her family was over there. And like I remember coming up as it's written here, you guys can see it. It's written, and it says as idea: honor your loved ones in the graveyard of the Minecraft underworld ancestral pool. Sign the post with your name if you like. We've done this. We did it. We have in fact a Minecraft graveyard for our loved ones. How long does it take for the deceased to become part of the... I think we're going to get to that. Give me a second. Oh, well, you know what? Well, this was like, I think the rundown. There's actually a section, I think, on death. Let me see. Let's go back to the table of contents. Because I don't know the period of time. That's a good point. Yeah, there's the burial and funerary rites on page 145. So we're going to get more into that in detail as we get further into the book. It's one of the last. It makes sense because I think that's how we're going to go through the book. We're going to go through like let me see, some information, and then we're going to let's see. Yeah, we're going on some further information on the household, ritual items, libations, offerings and tokens. Then we have prayers and hymns, purification, Hellenic holy days, home worship, purification, like different ceremonies include, and then following into the wedding ceremony and burial and funerary rites. That includes purification, and actually that's the last area of the book. So I need to read this again. Oh yeah, that's why I actually started with this, because this was like a really helpful book, and I was like, I really need to read this again. Book club is just a reason, an excuse for Victoria to do the studying she wants to do, and have accountability people. Not using HH for my own selfish purposes at all. No. Honestly, like half of HH is my selfish purposes. Not half anymore, but like we have the store and like the website. In fact, I'm going to be uploading some amazing backgrounds. They are AI generated, but like, I'm not an artist. Of course, anyone in the server can absolutely submit any art for public use or for use of rituals. and we happily link back because, you know, we appreciate your donation of your time and art. You can go ahead and open a ticket with us in the server. You can also fill out the form. In the rules, there should be links to all the forms. But let me grab it. I think it's volunteer. Let's see here. Grab that link real fast. Yeah, I think it was volunteer. Okay, yeah, so here are all on this page is all of the forms. Let me put that on the stream too. There we are. So anyone who wants to volunteer, you don't even need to be part of the server to submit any written works or to submit art. So we appreciate everything from everybody that you know, it's not like, you know, you're giving your time and your effort toward the server and the community, and we just love that and appreciate that and want to feature so many of our community artists. So we always want to encourage, yeah. And if you want to do, you know, if you want to specifically work on custom pieces that we might need, please go ahead and reach out to Isabel in the server, or again, open a ticket and we'll connect you guys. Isabel is in charge of our graphics team. So yeah. Any graphics that you see promoting anything on social media, that's Isabel and their team. So thank you all for joining. We have our reading already set up for next week. I'm going to go ahead and grab that right now just so we can have it on stream here. There we go. Oh, today is the 6th. I have to go up a little bit. All right, so we just finished pages 17 through 34. For next week, the 13th, we are going to be reading pages 35 through 46. We're covering the on the household altar, ritual items, on libations and koas. I can't say that word. Libations and offerings. So make sure you take a little opportunity to read it. We're really going to get into the meat now. And thank you all very much for joining us. Feel free to go chit chat in the Books and Club. That is a channel for us to chit chat in about the book. So yeah, I'll go ahead and copy out all of the bits that I highlighted for in the chat. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and may the gods bless you on your journeys.